Hey there everyone, my name is Chris and I'll be your host in today's episode on the history of the century, the man with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. Get your sunglasses on guys, because it's going to get pretty bright in here. In the year 2000, Robert Reynolds, a seemingly normal man, suddenly recalls that he's the superhero known as the Sentry. He also remembers that his arch-nemesis the Void is returning to the world to wreak havoc once again. Reynolds immediately starts seeking out some of the strongest superheroes in the entire universe to warn them of the coming threat, and to band forces together to kick some Void ass. For some strange reason, as Reynolds starts talking to the superheroes, they also start remembering who the Sentry is, how powerful he is, and all the good he had done for everyone. It turned out the Sentry was Peter Parker's role model, and Peter Parker had taken a photo of him once and it won him the Pulitzer Prize. The Sentry had also flown countless amount of times with Angel to get over Angel's fear of flying. He had also fought together with the superhero team, the X-Men, to face some very strong adversaries. The only superhero who had a vague inkling of who the Sentry was the Hulk, and he always remembered him as the Golden Man. Sentry had actually helped the Hulk control his rage, making him a force for good. It was later revealed that it was the Sentry's calming aura that did this. Other people also started remembering who the Sentry was. Most importantly though, Mr. Fantastic remembered that he and Robert Reynolds were best friends back in the day, and that the Sentry had often teamed up with the superhero team Fantastic Four to fight some of the world's greatest threats. Over time, the public also started remembering who the Sentry was and all the good he had done. During the course of an investigation into why the world had somehow forgotten the Sentry, Richards and Reynolds made a discovery that the Void and the Sentry are actually two parts of the same person. The Void being ridiculously evil and rumored to be much stronger than his counterpart. The reason the world had forgotten who the Sentry was that he had used his powers to erase himself from the memory of every single person in the universe, including himself, thus destroying the possibility of the Void ever re-emerging again. With the heroes of the world united and prepared for the Void to come, Reynolds came to the realization that the Void is far too powerful for even all of them to handle, so he decides to make yet another ultimate sacrifice, and with the help of Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Strange, he once again erases the memory of Sentry and the Void from the entire universe, and from all his friends and loved ones. Before Robert Reynolds became the Sentry, he was a meth addict, and to seek his high, he broke into the laboratory of Professor Cornelius seeking some drugs. When he saw this cool shiny elixir, he decided to drink it. Little did he know it would change his life forever. The Sentry receives his superhuman powers and abilities from his chemically enhanced physiology derived from the super soldier serum that he drank. This serum, though, unfortunately caused a phase shift in his molecules and caused him to be partially out of sync with reality, making him a bit loopy in the head. Though most of his powers and the limits are still unknown, it is known he is a top-tier superhero in terms of raw energy, and has displayed several abilities similar to Superman. He has even been dubbed as the world's most powerful superhero at one point in time by Marvel. Sentry's strength does vary by huge amounts though, and this is all dependent on his mental state. His powers and abilities include superhuman strength. When he is most mentally stable, Reynolds is one of the strongest beings in the universe and has demonstrated several astonishing feats of strength during his career, including ripping Carnage in two, taking Terrax the Tamer's cosmic axe and shattering it with his bare hands, and killing Ares also by ripping him in two. The limit of his strength is still unknown, but it has been shown to rival that of World War Hulk when they fought each other. 9. Vulnerability. Robert Reynolds is almost completely impervious to harm. Nick Fury from S.H.I.E.L.D. has stated they have yet to find a way to kill him, and even Iron Man's super advanced scanners have still found no physiological weakness. But like all his other powers, this is all dependent on his mental state, and as soon as he wishes himself to be dead, he can be killed in an instant. Photokinesis. Sentry has the ability to generate, control, and emit light. He's been known to generate yellow-coloured energy blasts, and the maximum power of these blasts is unknown, but they are capable of burning the Hulk's skin and levelling city blocks. Superhuman healing factor. Robert can heal himself from virtually any injury that is inflicted on him. He has even come back from being molecularly dispersed by the Molecule Man and Morgan Le Fay. Resurrection. Sentry is able to bring the dead back to life under extreme emotional distress. After Ultron murdered his wife, Sentry was able to resurrect her by simply touching her. It doesn't appear that he has control over this power though, as he was really shocked when it happened. Other powers and abilities the Sentry possesses include superhuman stamina, superhuman agility, superhuman reflexes, telepathy, telekinesis, flight, superhuman senses, and matter manipulation. Despite Reynolds being an insanely strong superhero, he is literally one of the most mentally unstable superheroes out there, and his mental state dictates his power, and its instability is his biggest downfall. His following weaknesses are as follows. Psychic assault. Due to his fragile psyche, he is readily susceptible to mental manipulation. Mental illness. This has led to his immobility on several occasions, and he suffers from several mental illnesses such as schizophrenia and agoraphobia. Both of them make the Sentry fear releasing his full power, as he has stated before that if he loses control just for a millisecond, there would be dangerous consequences. Lack of control and knowledge of his powers. Sentry isn't fully aware of what he is capable of, as he has hidden away so much from his conscious mind. An example of this is when he didn't even know he had molecular control until he was fighting the Molecule Man. The negative zone. Once Sentry's mental state becomes extremely unstable and depressed, he falls into this zone where his powers and health deteriorate, whereas his counterpart, the Void's powers, increase. The Void. This entity is the counterpart to the Sentry Psyche and is constantly trying to deceive Reynolds in order to be released into the world. It has been rumoured that the Void is even stronger than that of the Sentry, and he is capable of easily breaking all the bones inside the Hulk's body in one quick swoop. Thank you everyone for watching this episode on the history of the Sentry, the Golden Guardian of Good. Hope you enjoyed learning about one of the strongest superheroes across all universes, but easily one of the most unstable. Until next time,